Hello, everyone. How are you today? Hey, Andy. Nice to see you joined already. How are you? Okay. Let me know if you can hear me, just in case to check the connection.
Hi, can you hear me
Great.
now?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. All good.
Thanks.
Great. So, yeah, I think let's slowly start and we will have more people to join. So, hey everyone, it's Binance Connect Space, as always, our format, our weekly spaces. And this one is basically really exclusive, space and very important for me. Today it's not a book review, okay? It's something special because just a few days ago, as you probably know, if you don't know, you should know it right now. Andy released his new book about Web4. The full name is Web4: The Age of Autonomous, Intelligence, and the timing is actually perfect because right now AI is dominating conversation across every industry, not only crypto, not only Web3, but across all our life basically. And Web3 continues to face questions around adoption, around usability, around long-term sustainability. And today it's a pre-read conversation where I intentionally haven't read the book yet, but I ordered it already. And I want to hear directly from the author, from Andy, to understand why he wrote it, what problems he trying to solve, what readers should be thinking about before opening it, before reading it. So today we're getting, I would say, a first look, yeah, at the ideas behind Web3, Web4, sorry, directly from the person who spent years, building this vision. So Andy, first of all, welcome back. I really appreciate your joining my spaces. I always like to talk to you. And let's start directly with the first question, okay? So the first, let's say, section is why. Okay, why this book? You have written books before about NFT, about Web3, about a lot of things, and you've spoken at major conferences, advised governments, and published a lot of articles. Why did exactly this idea specifically need to become a book?
Well, thanks, Diana. Um, why this has to be a book? Okay, so I got into the space 2012, right? Got gone through a few cycle, know a fair bit on how the whole crypto market works, right? So right in the very beginning, I know that the Web3 space is not very decentralized, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
when you think that it's not decentralized, I often talk about this with my friends. How are we going to make it more, the more, maybe how can we make it less centralized and more decentralized? So I started to term this Web4 uh, uh, definition, started writing about it in 2021. Um, because I believe that if we have human beings running the show or most of the show, it will be it will not be good, because all the consensus and all the governance will be um, very much, maybe very much towards the more greedy space. How they want more control. How your government wants more control.
Mm-hmm.
Every human being want more control, right? So I thought maybe using AI would be a very good way to start that journey, right? But in 2021, I there are far and few people who are thinking about AI in the current context. Right now, everyone is into AI. They use some LLM to solve some of your tasks. Ask some
Mm-hmm.
questions. But 2021 is not that vibrant, right? So I took some time to start writing the book, right? Um, and I think it become more and more meaningful. In fact, I wrote like 23 versions of this book. I still have them in my folder. While going through that, I have 23 full versions of the book. Let's not talk about those like version one, version A, B, C, D, E. I have 23 full version of the book. I didn't publish them back then because I couldn't find a better angle to publish it, and I don't think it is good enough to be published. So I actually toy around this idea for a super long time, right? And if some of you who know me, at one point of time, if you search Web4 on Google, you will just be Andy only. Not
Mm-hmm.
maybe not Andy only, but I'm like the top hit about Web4. And I gave a keynote in 2023 about Web4. Or is it? I can't remember the exact timeline. It should be 2023 April in Dubai. I gave a very nice keynote about Web4 and how I felt AI is really going to grow big in our space. So that's how I coined the not really I didn't coin the term, but that's how I started to talk about Web4 more 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 actively, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. And as you mentioned already, 2021, you started talking about Web4 back in 2021, right? Long before AI became, really big topic in tech. I have a question here, what were you seeing maybe back then that most people were not seeing yet?
Uh, Put it this way: if you talk to the normies, they will think that everything is very fair. Uh, if you saw what I've been through, I can say that is the whole crypto space is so dark, man. You know, a lot of things that we thought it is supposed to be fair, transparent, immutable. All these are just bullshit, man. So that
Mm-hmm.
is also one of the reasons why I started writing the book, because I don't I don't see that true form of decentralization happening. I give you another good thing. Like last year when I met CZ as well in the event, I asked the question about decentralization. The definition that he has, or the vision he sees, is also very different. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
but I just want to be a little bit more idealistic. If we want it to be decentralized, then it better be 90% decentralized, or maybe 10% a bit less decentralized, or a bit centralized. I think that's okay, but it should not be a 50-50.
Yeah.
50%
Yeah.
decentralized, 50% centralized. Then what are we doing? To be honest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I also know that this book took 3 years, right? And also went through like 23 different versions or 20 something. I want to ask, were there any point maybe where you thought that like maybe I'm overcomplicating this, maybe there was some, really hard concept to explain in a way that as you said, normies, yeah, like ordinary readers, they could actually understand.
Um, okay, you look at it this way, right? So right in the beginning of this book, when I first started writing it, is is more of a it's more like a journal of people that I've met and projects that we have invested in, and what are some of the tricks, what are some of the
Mm-hmm.
tricks that they do, to make themselves look decentralized, and how they sell themselves, right? So in the very beginning, I wanted to tell everybody that this Web3 is fake. right? That was the very initial angle of the book, right? So more of storytelling, and then telling people some scoop, some expose of what really happened, and how things evolved to today, right? So in the very,
Mm-hmm.
very beginning, it was like that. It was a very easy to read book. You know, then I started to ask myself, should I really name those guys in my book, right? Because some of them we actually have some NDAs, right? But of course, after that many years, I assume that it's not valid. But then I think that it's not good for me to expose them in a book, because honestly, in some ways, and in many ways, we also take advantage of the kind of schemes that some of these projects try to put up, right? Because since everybody know how they want to run this decentralized platform, we will know how to game it, right? So I tell myself, maybe I shouldn't write it that way, right? So then it slowly evolved into you know a
Mm-hmm.
concept of how should a decentralized, um, a real decentralized situation or era to look like, right? From ID, to be decentralized, from getting known in the industry, for example, in healthcare. How can that help the healthcare industry? you know and I started to zoom into all these things, from real business to architecture, to a different protocol, how they can mix together, for example, or how zkML can come in, to help the whole situation, to make it more decentralized. It pivoted from where it was to the current book structure, where it become a little bit boring. Not say boring, because it's going to be very dry, right? There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
term. Some of my friends who read it, they say, "Shit, man, this thing, are you going for PhD or what, bro? You know, why do you have to write? Why do you want to write in this manner?" But but right in the very beginning, the book was not meant to be a easy to read book, like
Yeah.
a journey book, right? So yeah, so that's what happened actually, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also talking about this, I know that you also removed more than like 140 pages before publishing the final version. So yeah, I want to know
Oh,
like why and what are we maybe missing? Maybe you had some, chapter or idea where you, which one you personally really loved, but you had to sacrifice it for the sake of readability.
oh, so that is a long story. So the very initial version was about 150,000 words. Not the very initial, but the version like 3 months ago, about 150,000 words. I tried to get my friends to edit it. I tried to get friends to give me comments, but to be very honest, most of them are useful, but also not very useful, because the
Mm-hmm.
number of words didn't decrease, right? And and I asked myself, what should I do, man? So whatever the case is, I removed many of them to about 120,000 to 100,000, and right before publish, right? And I think I'm okay, right? I tell myself, okay, let's do it for 300, about 300 pages. I think that's cool. But when I try to publish it, I realized there's a very, very big problem. Is I was all along writing this in a A4 size paper. I before publishing it reduced to a 6 by 9 book size. So during that 1 week, I had to remove more words, so that it can fit about 80,000 or thereabout words. So in
Mm-hmm.
fact, I actually remove a lot of things. Those that are really too technical, I remove them. Those that are too uh, idealistic, because I actually came out with my own version of how the Web4 environment should be like. I remove it. This is like a very forward thinking, uh, a chapter, I remove it, because if I add all those things in, the book will be crazy. Number of pages will be crazy, because if you and for those who bought the book, like the hardcover or paper cover, you realize that the number of pages is a lot lesser than the one on the ebook, right? Because the ebook doesn't have a limit, so I can still put in a good number of graphics. I can put in the appendix. I can put in some additional paragraphs and so forth. But when I use the same model or the same format, I put it into a 6 by 9 book. It's like 500 over pages, man. I
Oh
mean,
my
number one,
God.
the printing cost is going to be crazy. The shipping cost is going to be crazy. And I was like, "Ah, I can't do it, man." So the book that you received, the final book, like a paperback book, there's no diagrams, there is no images, there is no appendix, there is no grocery. Everything is all being removed, because if
Mm-hmm.
I add all this in, it is going to be a killer, man. The number of pages. So if you were to ask me, I think the book, literally from the moment I think it's done to the day I publish, it should be about 35% cut, or maybe even 40% cut in number of pages. If you include the diagrams and so forth, it should be about 40%. So it was
Mm-hmm.
it was it was just crazy, man. And I didn't want to wait anymore. I just say shit. I just publish it. That's it. I don't want to. I don't want to change anymore. If not, by the time I publish it, it will be ChatGPT 8.0. Now it's
Yeah.
5.5, right? It will be 8.0 by then. I publish. So that's why I took the I took the hit, and I just removed them. That's it. You know.
Yeah, no, there's a crazy story. Just to clarify, does it mean that ebook version actually contains like a bit more content than a paperback version, or like everything
Yeah.
was changes? Yeah.
Yes. It contains more. Contains some diagrams. There are some paragraphs that
Mm-hmm.
are a little bit different. Yeah, but I try my best to make it about the same. Yeah, but definitely the diagrams and the appendixes and everything is not there. So but I think those are not important. Some paragraphs are a little bit different, but I think it should be more or less there.
Mm-hmm.
Content wise, it should be more or less the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. But
Yeah.
it's a great insight. Yeah, I like it. Actually, I really appreciate you sharing all the story. You've been through until you publish the book. Actually, because I think like mostly people they only see the final version of the product. They see the book on Amazon and. They don't know all of the story, but I think it's really interesting and yeah, it's really interesting to hear about this. And okay, let's speak of the ideas themselves, because one thing that really caught my attention was that you mentioned that the book originally started as a critique of Web3. Is it right? And if yes, what was, let's say, one thing about Web3 that you think um, maybe the industry still gets wrong today? What other challenges maybe still?
Or I right in the beginning, yes, the book is to critique Web3.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say what I didn't like about the industry right now is that, number one, I think is really not decentralized. All right. Of course, everybody will say that, oh, the code is decentralized, but the governance are not. Actually, the biggest problem is the governance, right? So I didn't like that. Number two, the barrier of entry is super low. Some of my friends here who are listening right now, they will know the barrier of entry is very low. We should not allow people to just launch projects and create scams in the name of innovation, right? The
Mm-hmm.
innovation and scams, they are different things, right? So these are the two things that I really really hate. Maybe one last thing that I want to add on is the people. You know, we have seen so many rounds of projects come in and out. People, we need better people, right? And those people with power must do the right thing for the industry. These are the things that is really missing, because those people who might be pushing a more idealistic point of view, maybe myself and the many other friends of mine, we are just trying to push it so that it stay on course, right? Stay on the same roadmap. We are here for as a future money, and those with power, right? The reach, those with big projects and so forth, they should set the example and set the control measures, to set the guardrail and so forth. So people got to be better. People got to know what exactly they are here for. So these are the three things that I think is really missing, in our space, man.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you totally. And speaking about Web4, about the term of Web4, actually, uh, I know that some people they are hearing this term and they, might assume that it's just another buzzword, something like that. Can you maybe share what is the biggest misconception that people have before they, even hear about like what it is, like for real?
So most people would think that Web4 is just a hype term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just another term. But if you look into what I've written, Web4 to me is more like the intelligence web, right? They can learn, they can make decisions, they can help with the consensus mechanism, they can help with the not so decentralized blockchain, how they could build a consensus around it. It has a brain, right? And it is connected to Web3 very closely, because we all know that AI is is definitely going to be here, right? So
Yeah.
we have to embrace it. So Web3 embracing AI would be a Web4 environment. The Web4 environment would be very much led by a lot of autonomy. Things would be more automated. Things would be more definitely more decentralized. AI agents and AI brains would manage, read, write your assets, execute tasks. So that kind of partnership with the human will change how the interaction uh, in this Web4 era, and you will also I want to repeat this again. Will also make it a lot more decentralized than what we see right now. It's not just a fluff word. It
Mm-hmm.
is there's a proper action plan for projects to shift to a more Web4 environment. Especially on the consensus mechanism. Let's not go into the architecture, the infrastructure, and so forth, but on the consensus mechanism. I think AI, with the help of AI, the consensus mechanism will change. And once the consensus mechanism changes, and the code is, assumingly right now, the code that we see are all decentralized, then things will be a lot more decentralized than what we see right now. You know, as long as human beings are not having the final control over everything, I think things will be a lot fairer, and we should leave this to AI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's talk to AI about AI then. Right now, obviously, AI agents are becoming one of the hottest narratives in crypto and Web3, like in every industry, as I said before already. So the first question here, I want to ask you, what's something that most people still maybe misunderstand about AI agents today?
Oh, there's a lot of things that people misunderstood AI agents. I think most of them. Okay, so AI agents can actually execute tasks beautifully. To be honest,
Yeah.
whether it's a writing task, a social media task, a coding task, I think they can be done beautifully. But this is also with the uh, with a few other prerequisites, right? Number one, the person who is writing the prompt must know how to write the prompt. right? If you do not give them the right prompt, AI agent, or even many people say, oh, the chat bot will go haywire, but the AI agents will go haywire too, right? So the prompts must be as sharp as possible and as accurate as possible, so that the AI agents can provide you with the service and make the task that you ask them to do in the most efficient manner. Right now, I think many of these guys who are using uh, AI agents, they try to use the mapping method so that they could map out what they want. But I think it goes back to, you know, enhancing and upgrading the prompt right in the beginning so that you can get the right prompt to get the right results. I think that is one of the biggest thing that is missing. The second thing that is also missing, or at least I didn't really like it, is that most people take AI agents tasks as the Bible truth. Right? You ask them to write a prediction for Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they will give you some shitty numbers. You know, if you really want to have very accurate analysis, you know, for example, you want to ask them about Bitcoin, blah blah blah. My humble suggestion is to tell them to double check and also give them screenshots of what exactly you're talking about. Right? If most people are very lazy, you know, some so lazy that they don't know how to prompt. Some choose to prompt, but they don't provide the context, so that, you know, so the data is always wrong. So if you really want to use the AI agent very efficiently, right, then you should also give them exactly what you are talking about, right? Give them a screenshot, you know, you show them all the different charts so that they can analyze from your screenshots and tally back with the current market. You know, these are some things that most people don't do, and they take AI as the Bible truth. And this is actually a very big downfall for many people, right? So just be careful, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Would you personally trust an AI agent, let's say, to manage your personal portfolio today?
I actually tried using Claude to uh, to do trading, but I have already removed it because I think the the AI bot trading bot, you know, managing my portfolio is just too stupid, you know. Well, it's not about the prompt and so forth, because if you run a bot, for example, you just subscribe to a bot or you use other people's bot, you know, to run it, it's just not efficient. And it's stupid because you are literally getting an intern who has zero knowledge of trading. The data might be also be wrong, but you're asking them to trade for you. So as of now, unless I find a really good bot that can give me live data, good strategy, good backup plan, you know, or if, even, you know, or maybe, you know, fast enough to even handle high frequency trading, you know, in a more accurate manner. Until then, I will not use AI completely to manage the portfolio. The trades got to still be done by ourselves. The analysis can be done by the AI. That's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual money transfer, it got to be done by ourselves for the time being. And if we are talking about serious trading, not the $1,000, $2,000 trading, you know, but serious money, I will not use that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I know that you made one of the, I would say, in my opinion, boldest predictions in the book that by 2035, autonomous systems would be responsible for like half of digital decision making. Um, I believe that for many people it sounds impossible yet, like right now, yeah. Can you talk more about this? Can you tell us more? Like, do you believe it's really realistic?
it is very realistic. So if
Mm-hmm.
everybody they can Google my name, I wrote quite a fair bit of things about Industrial 4.0, which is a fully automated scenario. You know, even in the manufacturing space, I did courses for 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 different countries. You know, on that. Um, that kind of automation, when we first talked about it 10 years ago, nobody believed in it. They think that, you know, how can this manufacturing plant be automated, fully automated, right? But look at the day, it is possible, right? Right now, with the robots, you know, or androids rolling out, you know, I think, you know, some of this heavy lifting, warehousing, all of this can be done by the robots, right? So I think nothing is impossible, and I think the 2035 scenario, which is 9 years down, 9 years from now, I think is definitely very doable. You know, I think the AI economy will change how we behave, how we work, how we interact in the next 5 years. You can see the speed is there. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
if this SpaceX IPO, Anthropic IPO, OpenAI IPO screws up, and all the money just vaporize, you know, in the next few months, then maybe the horizon or the time frame will change. But whatever the case is, I really believe that the the autonomous intelligence, you know, it will happen. Right, it will definitely happen. And I just want to add on to this, and it's actually written in the book as well. But most of us, we are seeing it from a Web3 environment, right? Web3 is decentralized.
Yeah.
It's not, it's too centralized. We need it to be decentralized. So AI needs to be in place. But you should look at from the AI perspective as well, right? AI is right now centralized. Many of my friends in Silicon Valley, in New York, some of these VC, we actually want it to be more decentralized, because centralizing the power of AI to just one, two, three players, for example, is just too risky, right? So we believe in that, and in the book, I also believe that AI should also be decentralized. It should not be controlled by a few powerhouses, because it's just going to be it's just going to be very dangerous, right? So that part should also be decentralized. How that is going to work out is also another good topic, you know. But that would be a very long conversation. That yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you. Also, you describe Web4 as a human-centric, right? But I assume that some people might argue because, if AI is making more decisions for me, don't I actually have less control? So, how would you respond to that? Is Web4 is really human-centric?
uh Web 4, whether it's human centric, I think
Mm-hmm.
Web 4 in many different ways right now, as you can see from Web 3, you know, humans still have to create the projects, right? So after human created the project, then the human will have that um, will have that plan, right? And then you let AI beautify it, you know, and make it even better. I think that is pretty much you know, human centric, because it prioritizes the human value, the from a project angle. Yeah, not so much of a grand or a grand scale of things, but the human will still design, you know, ourselves will still design the roadmap, find the gap, right? AI will take it on to make it better, right? And then deploy it better, and then make it more meaningful for everybody, because ultimately the product that we want to make is still for humans, right? So you will still, no matter what, you will still be human centric, right? And you will think like a human. You will react and make plans like a human. That's how we keep everything engaged and all the decision making to be more safe and fair, right? Using AI. So that's the concept that I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. By the way, guys, if you have any questions you want to ask Andy, maybe to share some kind of feedback, I don't know, anything like that, you're welcome to request a mic. It's an open, discussion, not only an interview. So yeah, just request a mic, and I think like few questions we can have a Q&A, right? And you will
Yeah,
be able
let's
to
do that.
ask something. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, meanwhile, guys, you don't be shy. Request a mic. And another question here that I wanna really ask you. Basically, I don't really want to have like a lot of spoilers. Let's say, yeah, for the book. I want our listeners to really go and read it, and we will definitely have a post-read conversation to also like share a feedback and to explore everything that we learned. But what I want to ask you here is, um, who benefits the most if your vision becomes reality regarding the Web4, regarding the future? Who benefits the most? What would you say? Like users, businesses, governments, or some kind of maybe new projects, new organizations that they do not exist today, but we will have them.
Oh, I think everyone would benefit, right? Everyday consumer will benefit, right? Because of how AI is. For example, if there's a if using a Web4 environment, the the privacy is you have greater control over your privacy, and you have enhanced the security. I think everyday users will be happy. I think the businesses will also be very very happy because things will be more efficient, more open, right? Businesses can even think of using open source AI to manage and structure their communities. Turning a simple AI tool to just co-pilot with the existing humans, right? All the
Mm-hmm.
existing human beings. Um, I think it will benefit everybody. I personally felt that the healthcare industry will change, right? If they really, want things to be more transparent. I think that will definitely change. Smart city development, I think those that is also going to change. Um, Transportation is also going to change, right, with the input of AI. I have always written this many different times in my article with India Times over a course of 2 years. I kept saying that you know uh, crypto needs control, right? AI will be the brain for crypto, to and AI will be the control, and then to AI, blockchain is the control, right? And that would just become an interlaced network where both side of the space would benefit, right? So everybody will benefit at the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I agree with you. Okay, guys, I can see if you requested Mike. Let me add you to the stage and let's hear your questions. Let's go just one by one. Let's see who will be joining us first. Okay, I can see. Yeah, nice nickname, Sir D01. Hello. Let's start from you. Hello, can you hear me? Can you try to speak? Okay, let's wait. Let's start with Mingzen.
I Hello, it's
Hello.
me. Can you hear
Hello.
me? Thank you. Thank you. First, thank you for Diana. Both of them have the space, and thank you for Andy. I know Andy for a long time. I did purchase the book and try to read it. I'm sorry for my English level. It's hard for me to read. I don't know how to for the not English background people to read book. properly, and that's just from my experience. But one thing I want to ask Andy, I read a little bit, and I feel, and the most funds these days going to the, you talk about the AI or the other industry. What about the crypto people? What do you think we should do more, or what we should do to get more, how to say, the eyes on crypto blockchain?
I think thanks, Ming. You know, Ming is a good friend. I think I think we need to have more use cases, right? If you want the VC to come back to crypto and invest more money into the space, I think we need to show more use cases and better make it more sustainable. Oops, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there's a very loud voice. Is it from me?
No, I
Okay, never
think
mind.
it's, yeah, it's okay now.
So yeah, so it should be yeah, we should make it um, have more use cases so that more people can know about crypto. In fact, the last 2 to 3 years, you seldom see any projects trying to push for use cases, right? They only try to push like some DeFi Ponzi scam or some meme, quick money. Nothing serious, man. You know, nowadays it's just quick fast food. Right? So if you want VCs to come back, we need to solve that. So better projects, better use cases. Uh, it would be even better if it's sustainable. It will be even better if we can have an AI element in the project. And and by cleaning all these things up, I think the money will flow back in, man. You know, uh, I hope that
Mm-hmm.
answered the question, bro.
Great, great.
Right
Yes.
now, just to really add on, I was saying that like 12 hours ago in our spaces. I mean, is nowadays the VCs who are into tech, they used to go into cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency kind of dead. They went for AI data center, and more recently, they are now investing in F&B, man. Because I was in Singapore, I met a few of my friends. Every week, I'll meet a few of them. What now? The latest trend is everybody is going to F&B investment. Or Japanese omakase, or this barbecue, Korean barbecue thing. So now VCs have nothing to invest, man. The AI part, they're all waiting for the SpaceX, this Anthropic, OpenAI for the IPO. The data center, they are already there. So now this period of time, people are investing in the F&B, man. So that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for answering the question. Thank you, Min, for a question. Okay, let's go. I can see Crypto Bull here as well. Can you try to open mic and can you try to speak if you have a question to share? Yeah.
Oh yes, hello to everyone.
Hello.
Andy really wrote a very nice book, and it's very nice topic, by the way. But I have a very serious question to Andy. Like, is fully decentralized Bitcoin native protocol like SRC20 and Bitcoin stamps can be considered part of Web4, even without central company VC backing or AI layer? If not, I mean, what key component is missing for Bitcoin stamps and SRC20 to be recognized as Web4?
I think as long as you are decentralized, your token is distributed. You can be qualified for Web4, but where is the AI element, right? If you're talking about ordinals, some stamps and all those things, you need the AI layer, man. You need the
I
smart
got you.
contracts, the AI layer to push it
Um,
through, man.
exactly. That's why we are trying now to bridge for to build with Solana base and BNB chain. Do you think now in that case we can be classified as Web4? Because I think this is the new narrative or something like this, maybe.
How is the Bitcoin network working with Solana? Why would that?
We gonna bridge it, like we're gonna bridge SRC20 to Solana and base and BNB chain, So it can we can it can we can create smart contract as well. That's one of the dev like we were discussing last time.
Mm, but would that okay? So we don't talk about whether it's Web4 or not. But why? Which ecosystem are you from? Are you from STEM?
It's RC20 stamp. Actually, I'm a community
SRC20?
contributor. Yeah, it's RC20 is the Bitcoin stamps. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want to just bridge over just to use a smart contract, I think that's I think that is okay, you know. But
Very,
but
very nice to hear
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I think that is okay because I think this uh, SRC20, you know, BRC20, they in the last cycle they used to be a thing, right? Then
Hmm.
right now I think to be very honest, I think of course you can breach, but I don't think uh, bridging would solve all the problems, you know, because the it still ultimately it still ultimately goes back to whether you have enough support, you know, in that protocol, right?
You're right. You're right. And to be honest with you, we were expecting some adoption from big exchanges like Binance or something, even just like by reading by articles like Binance Academy to bring more developer because you know it's decentralized. We just want to help to build more in the Bitcoin ecosystem to push. And I saw one of the dev also. He said like he's trying to build some AI on the SRC20. We are just waiting for some new updates. So I hope we will be classified as Web4 in that case because I'm really interested about this subject and I'm trying to communicate with the dev like how we can move to the new generation of the web from Web3 to Web4. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Andy. I think it's a very interesting book. I ordered it from Amazon, so I'm just waiting to arrive. Thank you so much, Andy, for this book.
No problem, man. Just try to see how you can add AI to your protocol. I think the limitation of not able to do the smart contract is is a small problem, but all those things can be overcome, man. The biggest problem is to get the protocol more attention, more eyeball, increase the
Mhm.
liquidity, increase the infrastructure around it, because
Exactly.
all these things are really missing, man. You know,
Exactly, but I wonder, Andy, like since we are opening the topic, how we can attract like exchanges like Binance to support us because this is the only community. We just want more articles from Binance Academy, wallet adoption. So because you know we are not VC backed or anything, so just community. So, do you have any idea how we can like contact Binance? We can talk to Binance because really, I believe Binance the only one can push the narrative. That's the only thing.
I think it's not so easy, right? So if you look at the BRC20 or even the Ordinals, you know, all these projects like Dogs and so forth, it's not easy, man. Their volume is much higher than STEM, I think. So
Hmm.
what I would really suggest is to build this from the ground up,
Hmm.
right? Get more
Yeah.
community to know what STEMs is doing. Then once you hit a certain builder size and volume, I think Binance will definitely look into, you know, projects that are promising, right? So I
You're
don't
right.
think they will just come in to just support any protocol because there are so many protocols around, right? But if
Mm.
you talk about you know, talk about Bitcoin natives, of course, you know, like I always say, there's VRC20, Ordinals, stamps, runes. There's so many of them, right?
Yeah.
So it's all volume that counts, man. If you have the volume, have the people, that the mind, you have the mind share. Big exchanges will
Yeah.
look at you, man. So continue to
But
build, bros.
yeah, and as you kindly know, like what makes SRC20 different. that the secure of the transaction, because it's built on the Bitcoin itself in the UTXO. So it's like directly whatever is store in the Bitcoin bricks, and it's blocks. I mean, and the transaction cannot be lost like what happened in Ordi, ordinals or runes. So the transaction is like immutable. So that's what we feel like is the strong part of it.
Hmm. Okay. But but I think we can talk about this on another space. But I
Yeah, yeah,
think
you're
that
right.
the transaction fees are still pretty high, right?
Oh, okay.
The UTXO bloat is also there. The hardware requirement to run the Bitcoin node is also pretty high. So
You,
I think it's a you need a lot of factors, to push it back to where it was. I think four years ago, I think it was really a big talking point. I really hope more Bitcoin ecosystem token can get more eyeball, man.